Bro, we need an Adepti buff. Why the fuck are we buffing? Bro, we're buffing top meta like Qiqi and Sino. Okay, no, I'll get to it. Oh my god! Let me start the stream, then we'll talk. Long Night's Oath is coming next patch in the Strongbox, by the way. Yes! Can you talk about the buffs? Yo, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yo, calm down. So, while I was gone, they announced a few buffs, allegedly. Now, I didn't see that the ball had icons in it, so I thought, you know, this is gonna be the next one, which is obviously Adepti. So Xiao's getting buffed, Shen Yun's getting buffed. Might as well include Chongyun, Yanfei in there too. Maybe Yao Yao, and let's say Shenhe. That would be a good lineup. Maybe one more 5-star, like a standard. Fuck it, Beidou. Sure, bro. Yeah, sure. Okay. But no. Instead, we get whatever the fuck this is. Sorry, I'm actually not angry because there's some characters I like, but let's get into it. Let's get. So there's Yae Miko, whom I like. Okay, everyone that's a Zy0x watcher, you guys know I like Yae Miko. Does that make her better than Fischl? No, but I like her. So, you know, maybe this will change that. Yo, don't go to bed yet, Zaj. Yo, Zaj. Okay, thoughts? Yae Miko, instead of having to press her E 18 fucking times, okay, every time I press E 3 times on Yae, then burst, and it destroys all 3 of my pillars, I'm not kidding. I have a 60% chance to just close my game. I don't want to fucking press it 3 more times. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not pressing E 6 times. I don't give a fuck. I'm not. I don't mind pressing it 3, but let them last forever and not break when you burst. Do we agree? Why the fuck does it break? I'm down for right here, right now. Emerge. I like that. I like that. Triple E, triple T. Sahur. I'm fine with that. But why does burst destroy them? What if they made it so that you only have to use it once and then you reset without using it? That's too much text, bro. Hey, some 5 words or less in chat, bro. You got to know who you're dealing with. I'm sorry. That was fucked up. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. So let's go through it. Yo, should I make it? I'm gonna make a tier list. Actually, this does nothing, but let's talk about what I think each buff will be. So let's put them all, like, who's getting buffed. Okay, so we saw Yae Miko. New buffs. Woo woo. Yae Miko, right? She needs a buff. I'm glad she's getting a buff. I think Dendro is in a weird era where Dendro was like the goated, low investment, easy, accessible floor, pretty high floor for like 2 years. And then they said, fuck you, Dendro. Kept power creeping shit and then made the only relevant, like, I guess Lauma buffs Bloom. So like you still have some Dendro teams, but like outside of just Lauma, a lot of the shit now is like, okay, I mean, Kaniche is good too. It just feels like Aggravate isn't real anymore. So it's either you're blooming with Lauma or you're burning with Kaniche. Or you're lunar blooming, but don't fucking get me started on lunar bloom. That is not a reaction, and whoever's idea it was to add it in the game needs to find a new hobby. No disrespect. Lunar bloom, you don't even get the fucking cores. It's not a reaction. It's nothing. So Yae Miko, I would be happy to see her get a buff. All right, I'm happy. She feels very clunky to play.
Anyway,
although I like playing her DP, I used to like playing her on field, right? That's why my normal attacks aren't just level 1. I would actually on field her because it's, you know, you can actually use your E on cooldown. It felt also, bro, yo, hey, good luck if you're leveling all the Inazuma characters with these handguards, buddy. You better start playing 7 hours a day. Sorry. Anyways, but like, yeah, her E's are quite annoying. Personally, I find her burst, like, I don't want to use it because I don't want to E 17 times. Yeah, even her cons are kind of like whatever compared to like new characters. I mean, I guess 6 ignores defense, but anyways. So I think I'm happy to see her get buffed. A big thing with Fischl is like elemental app, energy, and just like you press E and you're out in 1 second. So maybe I mean, I'm okay with her having more field time. I don't mind. Not every character has to be Fischl, but it has to be worth it, you know? Like, even, I'm not kidding. Some teams I'd rather run Lisa because Lisa gives you Def Shred. Like, sometimes I just literally rather just alt, get Def Shred, swap out, then press E 15 times. So yeah, I think she's deserving of it. Who else is there? This Qiqi? Yo, mods, do we got the Qiqi clip? Yo, who has the Qiqi clip? Okay, I'm gonna react to me reacting to the Jeff, reacting to the Jeff, reacting to the Jeff. Let's 1 second. Like, you'll get it when you get it. Just 1 second. Batteries are.
When you bring Hu Tao, you bring Bennett as a battery. When you bring Kaching, you bring Fischl as a battery. When you bring Eula, you bring Qiqi as a battery.
Okay. Yeah, okay, it's no secret by now. It's no secret. Qiqi generates no energy with her skill, okay? She's committed a few crimes. That's the biggest one. There's no reason for her skill to not generate energy, even if they change nothing else. So she's obviously deserving. I'm not wearing the same shirt, bro. She's obviously deserving of a buff, right? Obviously. If I were to look, I'll give you a prediction on what's gonna happen. Number one, her skill generates energy. It also generates an attack buff to your active character if it triggers a reaction. Secondly, Qiqi's C6 is going to infuse her normal attacks with cryogonal damage. It's going to be cryo infused. Secondly, her C2 and 4 will be enhanced. C2 will, okay, listen. I don't know what the fuck they can do with this. C4 though, when you hit targets marked with a talisman, attack buff to your whole team. Hey, cinema. Hey, cinema. And then, also, oh my God, this kid is, I mean, she heals, and it's not like the healing that's bad, right? No energy on the skill and no utility. So I think they just give her an attack buff and better cons and you're golden. And energy. Like energy, a real buff. It doesn't have to be Bennett, but like some buff and battery. GG. Like, you want to at least be competitive with Diona. And right now, Diona mogs Qiqi. And Diona's getting buffed too. Yo, what? They're buffing Qiqi and her biggest op. Who the fuck is that Sino? I don't know who that is. I know Sino's getting buffed. I'm happy to talk about Sino. Beidou. Dude, the Beidou enjoyer has logged on, ladies and gentlemen. The Beidou enjoyer has logged on. Crown burst. Dude, it pains me so that I don't use Beidou in my 4-star clears anymore. Beidou against 2 targets. I think her ult is like 5,000 motion value. How much is it? No, it's more than. It's like 20,000. Let me pull this up. What's her motion value on her burst? It's like 20 fucking million. I legit can't find it. I have to pull up my own video. That's the only place I know where it is. The guy that made this quit the game, Sag. C2, wait. 12 discharges, 12,000 fucking total damage. 12,000 per, that's motion value. 12,000. 12,000, bro. That's, how many Zhongli meters is that? That's fucking like 13 Zhongli meteors. Maybe 14. I can't count. Anyways, the only problem is you have to bounce it between 2 enemies. So it's kind of bad in single target. And a lot of the game now is single target slop. And as a Xiao main whose 6 constellation doesn't work against 1 enemy, I think both Beidou and Xiao should have their abilities work against 1 enemy. Now, I like that Beidou has like a niche. Like, I like that if the Abyss is 2 enemies, Beidou's actually, you know, solid. But even then, like, I'd probably just play a Gaming team, which is unfortunate. So surely, I mean, I feel like they'd probably, because she's not like useless, they'd probably buff her like they did with Fischl, which was just like, I mean, it's not like the biggest, right? It's either attack or EM to the team and making C6 a bit better. I'd be down for that. All right, ignore the build. I'm glad Beidou gets it. Who else is there? There's Diona and Sino. Diona is actually good though. Diona's like actually used. Well, I guess she's not like meta, but C6 giving 200 EM is pretty nice. A shield is decent. And she gives a lot of energy if you like E plus Fav or E plus Sac. I think I used her for the crab dyer, like the blooming one, just for the EM and either instructor or I forget what set I was on. Maybe scroll. But yeah, I guess she's mainly a 4-star Sitlali. That's like the only thing you use her for. Her cryo app is ass. Wait, okay. One second. Let me get every character that's getting buffed here. Because I think I'm noticing a trend, bro. There's Mizuki. There's Sino, whom I cannot find. Wriothesley. Wait, I forgot about Wriothesley. Do you think these characters become Hex? No, I don't think so. Well, one second. Let me analyze. Wait, who else? Yae, Sino, Wriothesley, Qiqi, Diona, Beidou. Is this everyone? Okay. Everyone here is Electro Cryo. We know we're getting a new Super Conduct set plus Mizuki. What if this is like, yo, Lunar Conduct coming out in 7.0? Here are some but then why isn't Eula here?
Build a house after all.
Because Eula is too broken and they're planning on releasing Eula SP. Eula Lawrence. The second Eula. Bro, why isn't Eula here? Anyways, I mean, maybe the witches, it is a witch themed buff. It's weird because I thought they wouldn't make it like some lore thing. They'd be like, here's a Deptheye buff. But because they kept the witch theme, and that's Barbethaloth, who's a baddie, by the way. I rewatched a trailer. I rewatched Varka's trailer for a thumbnail, and I saw like the old lady, bro. Is that her? Anyways, whatever. She looked good. But I don't know why it's like witch theme. So I assume there's probably gonna be like a witch homework. They're like, hey, you guys, fuck it, you're welcome. But would it be like an event? No. Why would they be in town? Why would the witches talk to like Mizuki? Oh, Diona's not here. I don't know. Maybe there's no lore reason. I don't think there needs to be. Like, I hope they just do it. But anyways, let's talk about the last few. I said this on his release. I'll say it again. Wriothesley C1 needs to be in his base kit. I don't give a fuck. Bro, not charge attacking on every rotation on a character who like is made for that feels like shit. I did N3Cs on Zy0x Wriothesley earlier when I was playing Nicole. I wanted to N3C myself off a bridge. I wanted to N3C myself out. Okay, sorry. No, it was actually terrible though. I don't like playing Zy0x Wriothesley. So they need to add that to his base. Make his C1 better if you want, but add the part of it that lets you N5C every rotation. Is Wriothesley C1 in the free thing? I actually don't know. Is it? Yo, I got 1 hour to choose this. No, it isn't. Anyways. Yeah, so Wriothesley definitely needs that. He also just needs to not be strictly worse than... Well, he's not strictly worse, I guess. Like, he's worse than the freeze carries in freeze. But in melts, we don't really have, like, a good melt. I assume that's gonna be Lohin. But, like, he's, like, the only... Like, we don't really have melt cryos. Like, the melt we have is Pyro, like, Gaming. So I'd be down for Wriothesley to get stronger there. Although he is getting an upscale, I'm pretty sure, with Nicole Duran, but I digress. Yuma Mizuki is literally just Sucrose side grade number 50, but she also heals, but so does Aoife, and I'm pretty sure generally you'd rather just play Aoife. Bro, Mizuki cannot normal attack when she's floating around, so you can't fucking play her with Xingqiu or Yelan or like half the characters she actually wants to play with. So it's just really weird. So hopefully they let her do that, or they just give her bigger buffs to make it just a better like Aoife, or a better, I don't know, just better to use. Like everything about her feels weird. I don't dislike her, but I've never really been like, oh, Mizuki would be good here. Like I used to say, and it's true to some extent, like a lot of these Anemo drivers are good for newer accounts, or were at least good for newer accounts, because you can just like run Xingqiu official whatever and have a team. Mizuki can't run Xingqiu because you can't normal attack. You still do like some fucking, I don't know, Farina or Oron shit. Same with like Aoife. And Aoife's pretty good, but I don't know. DPS ceilings have gotten higher, and like you don't really want that, especially because you're locked to being on her forever. And swirl is a lot better in AoE, like at least if you're double swirling, and a lot of content is just one guy. Checker C1. Oh yeah, it increases the fucking swirl, right? Triggered swirl reactor cancel, and the swirl instance has its damage against its opponent. Okay. The swirl instance has its damage against his opponent increased by 1,100% of Mizuki's elemental mastery. I mean, hey, C2 is actually pretty nice though. Her C2 gives you Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, Electro damage bonus. I'll take it. Now just let me use my actual Hydro off fielders though, please. Anyways. Yeah, there's some good ways they could buff her. I don't think her kit is like abysmal. It's just there's a few anti-synergies that make no sense. And Sucrose is broken. And then Sino. Can I say something? I'm gonna yo, a Sino main breaks his silence. Can I say something? I love Sino. He is beautiful. He's one of my most hyped characters since I first saw him in his trailer. But I don't know. Playing Sino just feels weird. Like you're waiting for an eyeball to appear. But you don't get like rewarded for it. Like when I hit the eye, it feels like I'm doing like 20k, so I'm playing a mini game that just doesn't feel rewarding. It just doesn't feel rewarding. Thundering Fury is nice on him. I can reset my cooldowns. It's kind of fun, but it's like, I don't know. And you can get like interrupted, and you're. I mean, I like it. Like I like that there's an eye that appears. I like that he's unique. He just needs to do more. Like it just feels so shitty. And you're also actually, this is another big thing. This is probably the biggest thing. You're locked on field with him. If you swap, the burst ends. This is like an older character thing. A lot of new characters, some do it. Like you don't want to swap out of Varka E, but some just don't. Like you can free swap in Nefer or whatever. But you're locked in his burst for like 10 seconds. And if you're playing him with, at the time, his best support, Nahida, you would have to swap out. Like, if there's more than one wave of enemies, you're cooked. Nahida does nothing, which is more a Nahida problem than him. But it feels like you're sometimes just trapped and like the world is against you. And I know some of this comes from the fact that he doesn't do that much damage. So it's like my meta brain. But look, bro, I want to clear shit, man. Sue me. Also, like, yeah, his passives just could be better too. Like, this could definitely be better. I mean, I guess it increases damage, but like, it's just a lot they could do for him. Yeah, probably just make him stronger. Also, I think his cons are, yeah, his cons are not ideal. C1 gives him normal attack speed, which is splendid. And C2 gives him 40% electro damage bonus, 50% electro damage bonus, which is like, it's all right. I mean, they might buff that. I'm happy to see him buff though. I like him, bro. I'm top 1 Sino in the world, bro. 99.6, 210, 130 ER. I am him on Sino. And you get C1 for free. So if they make it better, very nice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I find he feels pretty clunky. Maybe it's just Nahida. Like, I guess with like Lauma, he doesn't feel as bad. But like, I also, here's another thing. If I play him with like Nahida, I don't clear. And if I play him with Lauma Columbina, I feel bad when I'm on Sino. Like, they die before I swap to him. So I maybe that's just a numbers thing. Which, I mean, if that's the case, then I'm glad he's getting buffed. Because that's the way to fix that. Like, if the kit is well designed, then just increasing the damage is good. But I also think there's some like fluidity issues at times. But anyways, maybe Superconduct Sino will be it, bro. Maybe Superconduct Sino will be it. Anyways, look, I'm happy they're getting buffed. Would I have chosen this lineup if it were me? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. There's some characters that I think if we're just, let's say we're just doing Cryo Electro. Why is Mizuki here? Eula should be here. Electro, that means Fischl again. Give Fischl another buff. And I mean, I guess Ganyu, even though I'm not a big fan, she deserves it. Chongyun does not. Yo, low key, bro. Just make it a fucking Adepti buff, man. Ganyu, Chongyun, Shao, Aloy. Yeah. Okay, last but not least, they released the new banners. They announced them. I noticed there is hello? Yo, John Genshin? Where the fuck is Chevros? I don't know. Chevros is not here. So, unfortunate. But, I mean, Prune's here. And you got NICOLE and Duran. So, there's basically a full Varka team. It's weird to me that... So, I'm going to channel my inner Ramatra, if you're familiar. It's a character from a famous literature in the 1700s. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. On one hand, I wish Prune was on Varka's banner. It sucks that she isn't. However, as a Shao main, who many of us have got in Wanderer C1, Wanderer C2, because Farazan, Shao's support, was released with Wanderer. It must have been a mistake. A part of me is like, hey, you're going to suffer how I suffered trying to get fucking Farazan cons on a banner that's not even your own. But at least these are Varka support. So you're not like, if you play Varka, you want at least Durin or NICOLE. I'd say at least one, and Prune. Ideally both, but like, Primo gems are, look, they're scarce. We get like fucking 5 a patch. She has knives around the corner. Don't be like baited to pull. But if you play Varka, obviously this is like a pretty big team DPS increase, depending on your alternatives. Like, I'd say for Varka, you run 2 pyro characters to an emo, right? One of them is Bennett. The other one is fucking AI generated, or Durin. If you have Durin, cool. If you don't, Durin's good there, or NICOLE. Both are good. Bennett is already good, but either Durin or NICOLE is an upgrade there. But like, if you're not using Bennett or other teams, you don't like necessarily need both. Just whichever one you get, you can run them on the new support set, which is a big buff to the team already. And then Prune is basically Venti too for that team. Yeah, Fischl is great to be here if you're a new player. Same with Razor. If you already have them, unlucky. But honestly, my free-to-play account, if I go back to it, I would probably pull here because like NICOLE Durin is Shao's best team now, which I'm ecstatic about, by the way. I love that Shan Yun, the support made for Shao, is not in Shao's best team. Isn't that fucking lovely? Sorry, C2 she is, but C0 she isn't. So yeah, it's NICOLE Durin now. But anyways, yeah, like Fischl cons on my account would go crazy. Razor C6 with the Hexarai buff is actually a solid unit. Like, he's not amazing, but he's kind of like, he's okay. And then Prune works there too. And obviously is great with cons with Varka,
Stop
but not like the
laughing,
most
bro.
teams.
Your F2
But,
Xiao is not
people-
clearing
okay.
shit even with
All right,
Nicole
bro.
in
All right.
combo.
But yeah, Nicole also, she's also an upgrade for like, there's literally like 15 teams where she's like, how do I say this? She's like Beidou Yao, like where they're very similar to an already best option. But then there's like 3 or 4 teams where she's just the best, which are like the best to the point where it's probably worth getting if you care about that character, like Varka, Kaniche. Okay, Anemo characters are not really worth it. Like, I love Xiao, I'm gonna get her for Xiao, but like, I wouldn't really tell you to. Wriothesley, but I assume Lohin's gonna be Wriothesley too. And then a lot of the others, like, I mean, I guess Klee. Yeah, Klee also counts. But a lot of the others, somewhat Klee included, like all the Pyros in Overload and all the Electros in Overload. Nicole is like, if you don't have Durin, she's an upgrade. If you have Durin, she's a side grade. But like, a lot of people don't have Durin. And if you do, she'll just be more comfy. But like 1% or fucking 3% less DPS or something. So very similar. But if you don't have C6 Chevy, she'll be better than Chevy. I don't know. There's a lot of like asterisks. Like compared to Bennett, she gives less attack to your on-fielder, but more to your whole team. Unfortunately for her, a lot of teams would rather just buff the on-field hyper carry. But that's not the case always. And she has more synergy with Hexarai. And like, for example, like Kaniche is most of the team's damage. I mean, Durin does damage, but like Kaniche is most of the team's damage. But because you have a second Hexarai unit there that doesn't suck, and because there's a new Hexarai set, you get basically just so many buffs that you get a pretty big upscale. Like a lot of teams. Okay, here's another thing. If the new artifacts, like, okay, a lot of teams are getting stronger now because of the new set. But in order to use the set, you want either Nicole or Durin. Like running both is good sometimes, or it's just good in general. But a lot of the times, like, for example, you're running a Chevy Overload team. The Chevy Overload teams are getting a lot stronger. Why? Because you're running, just like, let's say you're low, like free to play, like 4 stars, right? You're running Fischl, and you're running Chevy, and you're running an Electro. I'm muting alerts for a second. You're running an Electro or Pyro carry. Let's say non-Hexarai. Your last slot there is going to be significantly better if you can go someone like Durin or like Nicole because of the new set. It's basically just scroll, but for Hexarai. It's gonna buff all your Electro, all your Pyro. Yeah, there's some, you can still run like Yansan, Mawika. Like this team isn't coming in like, anyways, it's not like the only team you can play, but it is an upgrade to like almost all of them just because of the new set. So then the last slot there is either Durin or Nicole. And then if you don't have cons on like Chevy, you can run both. You can also just run both for the comfort. But basically, once you have one, in those teams, you don't need the other. And then in other teams, once you have one, the other is better. It kind of varies. Like a lot of teams can run the duo, but once you have one, that doesn't mean you need the other. Like it's not like Llama Nefer, you don't need both. As long as you have one on the support set, the other one isn't like mandatory, but it'll still upgrade some teams. So it's not like it's, you know, like with Varka, I would get both. With Kaniche, I would get both. Yeah, having one is already good, especially because of the new set. Like just Durin is getting buffed this patch. A lot. Durin got fucking 2 new sets, bro. I have to like make a new guide. He literally got 2 new sets. So yeah, the pull value is a bit weird. Like it's hard to determine because it varies. Like it's hard to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Prune is just a bigger increase to your Varka's team than Nicole. But like you're gonna get both going for Prune. Like if you get Prune C6 or Nicole and you already have like Durin, Prune is better. Because I'm pretty sure Prune C6 is like 10 to 15% better than Venti, which is a lot. Nicole gives you comfort though. I played Varka in Stygian for maybe 10 hours straight. Doing your combos is fucking hell without a shield. Okay? Yeah, you can just do whatever on Varka, but if you're trying to actually do an optimal combo, you want a shield. You don't need a shield. You want one. I also forgot to mention, but it makes Serpent Spine better. I mentioned that in my Varka guide, but I didn't mention it talk about Nicole, but it does make like Serpent Spine better. Now, with that said, Varka has good vertical investment. So like example, if you get like Nicole and Prune or Durin and Prune, yeah, you're probably better off getting like Varka's signature than getting the other character because it's like 30% or some shit, like 20, 30. But yeah, I'm at the state right now where like maybe this is unfair. I'll listen to criticism, but I'm so like disappointed with recent power level trends that a character not being giga broken is like surprising to me and is making me kind of happy. Like I don't want the next fucking Zy0x scale. I don't want it. Like, for all I know, they're gonna make a better Illua. Well, they did. They fucking did. Sorry. But like, I don't know. So it's like characters that are, I don't want them to be shit. Like, I don't want a character to come out and feel terrible, right? Like Varka wasn't terrible before the new set and stuff, but he didn't feel great. Like I was a bit like, eh. But I also don't want a character to come out and be fucking broken. Like, it's a weird middle ground. Because if they're terrible, no one's happy. And if they're broken, I mean, I guess people are happy, but it's like not good for the long term of the game. It's very short term. It's a cookie today or 100 cookies tomorrow. The cookie today is make everyone broken, fucking make their chest as big as possible and sell as much as you can. Fuck it, bro. Hey, fuck it. Hey, let's make them all the best. And every character needs a new character. You can't play old ones. No Bennett, no Sucrose. You buy premium or you die. You buy premium or you die. Yeah, so having like a character that's not just like power creeping Bennett, like I dead ass. Okay, dude, do you know how many, every time there's a fucking pyro character, I see on my fucking timeline some dumbass leaker being like, ooh, new character does Shangling and Durin's and Bennett's job 3-in-1. Bennett's ended 50% rest red. Bro, shut the fuck up. Bennett has not gotten ended once. Also, I need to decide who to choose. Wait, who am I getting? Yo, who's getting the biggest buff? Sino? Do I like early investing Sino? Because C1 is free technically, so I don't mind activating it. I probably still won't, but Yae. Bro, I already have C2 Yae. I don't remember how. There's definitely some incident. Yo, these Sino buffs better be good. Fuck it. Boom. Are you sure you want to redeem the Stella Fortuna for Sino? Holy cinema. Holy cinema. Yo, he's a cool character, bro. He's a cool character. Nice. Dude, what? This is such an insult. Look, everything else I'm fine with. 20 fucking ores? Bro, you might as well slap me in the fucking face. 20 ores? That takes like 4 minutes. Bro, what? Wait. Guys, do not redeem your witch's homework invite. In version 7.0, everyone will be able to invite the newly buffed witch characters, Wriothesley, Sino, Yae. They actually might give us another one for the 4 stars, though. What would it be? Diona, Beidou. There's only 2. All right. Diona, Beidou? Yeah, no way. Wait, Prune could be there. Ooh. Okay, what am I doing? Yeah, you're right, actually. That would be sick. Wait, Prune, Beidou, Diona would be sick. That'd be cool. Thank you. No, I'm done. I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again.